Yes guys, welcome to a brand new video. My name is Conan and today I'm going to explain to you the easiest way to get shredded in 2024. Now before you ask, no, it's not by spending hours on the elliptical, the Stairmaster, the treadmill, which by the way most people absolutely dread, including myself. It's actually a much easier, more sustainable way. So drum roll please, it is walking 10,000 steps. So you guys have probably heard this saying numerous times before on social media, your favorite coach or your favorite influencer telling you walk 10,000 steps, get your steps in, blah blah blah. But it's like, why is this so popular and why is this so effective as well? Because it almost sounds like too good to be true. Are you telling me that all I have to do is just simply walk my dog a couple times a day, or just walk to the grocery store, or do small little things like taking the stairs instead of the elevator, and I will burn more body fat and burn more calories? Yes. And so like I mentioned to you, it is super popular because it is simple, it's accessible, and it is low impact, which is also, by the way, why you see so many pro bodybuilders use this exact method to get them to absolutely shredded, diced, single-digit body fat percentages. Including one of my clients here, David, as well. We recently went through a fat loss phase, and then on the picture on the left here you can tell that obviously he was a bit more bloated, no pump really, but the picture on the right, definitely lost some of the body fat, actually gained some muscle along the way as well. And this was not because he spent hours on the cardio treadmill, whatever. We still made sure that we were resistance training, we got our sleep in, we tracked our calories, our macros in a slight calorie deficit, but his main form of cardio was literally just like, he didn't even touch a treadmill, he was just walking around. Whether it was like walking around his neighborhood or walking to the park, like something as simple as that, right? And so, why walking 10,000 steps is such an effective way to lose body fat. Let's just kind of dive straight into it. So number one is calorie burn. So walking helps burn calories, which is crucial for weight loss. And now, before we begin, guys, like, it's also just one of the many ways you can burn calories. Like, I'm not saying that walking is the only way. Of course, any other movement that you do throughout the day burns calories. It could be running, it could be sprinting, it could be even playing your favorite sport, right? But again, walking is so easy. Anyone can do it. My grandpa can do it. My grandma can do it. They can both do it together at the same time, and they can both get shredded, right? Anyone can do this. While the exact number of calories burned depends on many factors like your weight, your height, your pace, and all these different things. Here's just a general idea of how many calories you can actually burn if you were to walk 10,000 steps. So a person weighing 155 pounds can burn roughly 300 to 400 calories at a decent pace of 3 to 4 miles per hour. Whereas a heavier person, let's say you're 185 pounds, you may burn closer to around 350 to 450 calories. So it does really depend on a lot of different things, but relatively speaking, you will still burn quite a few hundred extra calories by you just simply being more active throughout the day, right? And now the second reason why it's so effective is that it's sustainable, right? Due to its sustainability. Walking, like I mentioned to you guys, is low impact exercise that is easier on the joints compared to high impact activities like running, right? Because running can be really just like aching on your joints, your connective tissues, your knees especially, and especially if you take weightlifting serious, you do not want the cardio to be the limiting factor or to get into the way or to interfere with your weight training sessions, especially your leg days. If you are right now in a situation where maybe you want to burn some body fat, but you do not want to lose size on your legs, or you still want to at least like maybe try to build some muscle around your legs, which will be a bit more harder on a calorie deficit, but let's say you still want to do that, you're far better off just simply walking instead of like doing sprints or doing jogging, because yeah, that could negatively interfere with your actual weightlifting sessions, like especially like leg days, like the squats, lunges, stiff-legged deadlifts, all these exercises. So that is why walking is also so awesome, to make sure that it doesn't really interfere with honestly anything else that you do in life. And the last thing here is accessibility. So walking doesn't require any special equipment or a gym membership, which is amazing. You can literally get shredded without a gym membership, without having to pay a monthly fee to anyone. All you need is just, I was going to say you need to just put on a pair of shoes. You can even go barefoot if you want. You can literally do grounding. If you guys have heard of that before, grounding while getting your steps in, it's like, you don't even need shoes for that. Just be careful that you don't walk on like glass or anything dangerous like that. But yeah, you don't even need shoes to get shredded, which is actually really cool to think about. And it can be done anywhere. It could be done, like I mentioned, around your neighborhood. It could be done in your kitchen if you're psychotic and you just want to just walk around your kitchen or walk around your house, you can definitely go ahead and do that. There's no rules here. Like I sometimes tell my clients that doesn't matter how you get your steps in as long as you get them in. So you could literally just be pacing around your house, walking around in circles, doing whatever, and yes, you will still burn calories, right? Which makes this so accessible, or just an accessible form of exercise for most people. And lastly, here's health benefits. Beyond weight loss, walking improves your cardiovascular health, strengthens bones, enhances mood, and boosts overall energy level. I can definitely say that it does enhance your mood as well, because every time I come back from a walk, I just feel so much better afterwards. I like to go on a couple walks throughout the day, especially after my meals. It also helps kind of digest the food a bit, but I just feel amazing after going on a walk as opposed to just sitting down and just doing nothing, right? So those are some of the amazing benefits. And now let me give you guys some practical tips to actually achieve 10,000 steps with a busy schedule, because don't get me wrong, walking 10,000 steps, especially for most people, if you're not used to that, it's easier said than done, especially if you're working a full-time job, you've got a family to take care of, you got the kids, you're running errands throughout the day, all these different things. But think of what I just said. Let's say you have kids. Doesn't that mean that you should be playing more with your kids if you want to increase your daily step count? Because now, instead of saying, hey kids, I'm too busy to play with you guys, now you can literally view playing with your kids as like, oh my goodness, I not only get to play with my kids, but I actually get to increase my step count by playing the frisbee or catching or throwing the football or maybe playing catch or whatever, and actually get my more steps in and actually burn more calories. Well, let me actually play with my kids more, right? Or instead of saying, oh, I don't want to go grocery shopping with my wife today, it's boring, whatever. It's like, well, it's another opportunity for you to actually be more active, get more steps in, and burn more calories. So now you can almost like imagine how like your life could literally like be a fat burning machine, basically. Whatever you do in life, and that's kind of how I view my life, is like, if I want to walk to the gym, if I want to walk to the grocery store, if I want to walk to the beach, it's like not only will I get to the destination that I want to get to, but I'm actually burning calories along the way and actually increasing my daily step count. So all these things that you now think about, it's like, well, let me view this as an opportunity for me to get my steps in, as opposed to maybe not doing it at all because I don't want to do it or because it's boring, right? So having that mindset shift, I think, can really be super beneficial. So the first tip that I have for you, let's say, again, you're still super busy, you work a sedentary desk job, which, by the way, I do as well. I sit on my desk most of the time working with my clients. But number one is break it down. So I'm not asking you, or you should not ask yourself, to walk 10,000 steps in one go. I don't think I've ever... Maybe a couple of times, maybe a handful of times when I did my marathon, or maybe when I go on like a big hike or whatever. But 9 times out of 10 on a typical day, I never get all of my steps in one single go. Like I don't go on like one massive long walk in the morning or at nighttime where I just get all of my steps in, because that could be really tiring, and that's just like a lot, right? Typically speaking, I just break it down into more bite-sized, manageable steps. So aim for short, frequent walks rather than one long walk. So for example, you could do 3 50-minute walks, which could add up to 4,000 to 5,000 steps a day, right? So if you know, roughly speaking, that walking around your neighborhood gives you around 4,000 steps, well, it's like, okay, awesome. Let me do that maybe 3 times during the day, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, and 1 at night. It's like, okay, boom, there we go. I got my steps in, as opposed to having to think to yourself that, okay, I have to walk around my neighborhood 3 or 4 or 5 times in order to get my 10,000 steps in, which, again, like, you don't have to do that. You can do that, but you don't have to, basically, right? And now, second tip here is active commuting. So if possible, walk or bike to work, right? Or to the gym, or to the grocery store. If you take public transport, get off 1 stop earlier and walk the rest of the way. I literally used to do this exact same thing whenever I got off of either work and I got off the bus from work, or even like from school. I'd stop 1 stop shy from the destination where I had to go to, just so I could actually get more steps. And I actually did this subconsciously before I even knew what step count was. I just did this because I just wanted to be more active. But yeah, these are all small little things that you can definitely just incorporate into your day without having to make any crazy sacrifices. Number 3, lunch breaks. Use your lunch break for a brisk walk, which can also help clear your mind and also boost your productivity in the afternoon. This is one is massive, the fourth one here. Walk while you talk. I see so many people still take their phone calls, and I know sometimes you have to if you're doing a Zoom call or whatever, but you're literally like, let's say you're doing a regular phone call on like your phone, and it's like you're just talking to someone. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, what are you doing? Like, I almost find this unproductive, whereas actually taking the time to call someone, but then almost like using it as an excuse to say, okay, I'm calling someone right now. This is honestly like, although I'm having a productive conversation, I still kind of feel unproductive. I'm not really doing much. Let me just walk around. Let me walk around, pace around the aisles, the kitchen, or let me just go outside and take this call. Like, pace around while you walk or while you talk with someone, right? I do this all the time, and it also gives me a good excuse. Like, if I know, for example, one of my friends will call me, I'm like, okay, he's calling me right now. This means I should probably go outside to go get my steps in, as opposed to just sitting down and just doing nothing, right? So walk while you talk, especially if you can. Unless you're doing a Zoom call, obviously, but even most Zoom calls, I see so many people just take them outside, or like a FaceTime call. Definitely do that. And you'd be surprised, after like a 30-minute conversation, you're not even thinking about walking, and then before you know it, as soon as you hang up, it's like, well, I just walked 5,000 steps by talking to someone. Thank you so much, friends. Call me more often. Now, I think this is the 6th point here, but use the stairs over the elevator. Right now, I'm living in like this hotel, motel type of situation, and I have 2 different options every single time that I am in the lobby, or every time I go downstairs. I could either take the elevator or take the stairs. And now this isn't like a huge deal. Like, if you want to take the elevator some days and then other days the stairs, that's totally fine. But I just view myself as a stair taker, and it's more of like a mental thing where like, I just want to take the stairs and I feel better taking the stairs. There's this mental thing that I have with elevators where it's like, I might as well just take the stairs, right? I just get an extra couple steps in. No big deal. Again, it's not going to get you extra 10,000 steps, but it's, again, small little things done throughout the day. Like, if you add all of these small little things up, I guarantee you're going to walk an extra couple thousand steps, which could therefore burn a couple extra 100 calories, right? So do not sweat the small stuff. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Another thing is parking a bit further away from your desired destination, whether it's from work or from the grocery store. Just park a bit further away. Get more steps in, really easy, no crazy sacrifice there. Evening walks, like I mentioned to you, consider like a post-dinner walk. It's a good way to wind down and can also contribute significantly to your daily step count. Plus, it can help the food digest a bit more as well, right? And now, obviously, this is all well said and done, but if you have no way of actually keeping track of how many steps you're taking, it can be kind of like discouraging, or kind of like, okay, am I close to my goal? Am I not? So definitely make sure that as you go about this, keep track of your steps. I used to keep track of my steps on my iPhone on the health app, but it was really unreliable because I didn't always have my phone on me at all times. And so I invested into a Fitbit a couple years ago, and it was a game changer for me. I was like, this is so convenient. This is awesome. I take it off when I go to sleep, but as soon as I wake up, I put it on, and it's like, okay, boom. Once it's on, it'll start keeping track of all of my daily steps, right? And also just helps keep track of like, okay, let's say it's 7 o'clock right now as I'm filming this video, and my step count is a bit different from what you guys are, but let's say my step count is 15,000 steps, and I notice that, okay, as of right now, I am at this is actually like real life, 12,929 steps, which means I need roughly, how many do I need? Yeah, I need roughly 2,000 more steps to get to my daily step count, right? Whereas if I did not keep track of it, I could have really easily told myself that, okay, like I took the stairs a couple times, I went for a walk, and then I walked around the gym, and did my grocery shopping. I think I'm close to my daily step count. There's a big difference between thinking that you did something and actually knowing that you did something. Because sometimes, like, depending on the activity that you're doing, like, we tend to overestimate more things than not, right? In terms of like, oh, I think I only ate X amount of calories. I don't think I ate that many calories. Or I think I got actually a bit more steps in. I don't think I only got that little steps in. Like, we tend to like overthink things than underthink things when it comes to that. And so don't cut yourself short. Keep track of it just so it can be 100% accurate, and also just keeps things a lot more consistent. Second to last tip here is incorporating walking into leisure time. So instead of sitting to watch TV, walk on a treadmill or in place. Go for a walk with the family or friends instead of sitting at a cafe. One thing I like to do is that sometimes I will go on the treadmill, for example, right? Especially like after my workouts, and I won't use that time aimlessly just walking on a treadmill. I'll use that time to go on my phone and maybe send out some more messages, or maybe text one of my friends, or maybe do something productive as I get my steps in, as opposed to just aimlessly walking, right? So that's another thing you could do. You can even like watch a YouTube video while you're on the Stairmaster or the elliptical or the treadmill as well, just to actually enjoy it as opposed to just not doing anything. One thing I like to do as well is just listening to a podcast too, which is nice. And even if I go outside, I'll take off my shirt, and I basically kill 3 birds with 1 stone, because it's summertime. I get to tell my body, listen to something new, learn something new, and burn calories, which is like a win-win-win situation. And last thing here is set reminders. Use your phone or fitness tracker to set hourly reminders to get up and move. Even a few minutes of walking each hour can add up. So if you're someone that has a sedentary job like myself, set like hourly or every 2 hours, just a reminder. If anything, just to like stretch out your legs, but also just to walk around a bit, right? Because I sometimes get caught up with just like working, because I enjoy working, I'm a workaholic, but then sometimes I do need those reminders that, hey Conan, get up your butt, get those steps in. And that's exactly what my client Terry has done to pretty much lose 60 pounds in my program as well. Now, keep in mind, of course, we monitored his workouts and his nutrition as well, but his main form of cardio was to simply be more active throughout the day. And so we talked about the examples of calories burned, but here's a quick little calculation. So assume a 155-pound person walks 10,000 steps at a moderate pace. The calories burned per steps, and again, this is probably not super accurate, but it is approximately 0.04 calories per step. So the total calories burned is 10,000 steps times 0.04 calories, which is 400 calories, like we discussed in the example above right here as well, right? Now, the exact same thing applies with a 185-pound person. The way we kind of figured out how many calories they will burn is that, say, they burn around 0.05 calories per step. So 0.045 times 10,000 equals 450 calories burnt. So incorporating 10,000 steps into your daily routine can significantly contribute to your overall calorie deficit, which is essential for fat loss. Keep in mind, guys, like, calorie deficit is key when it comes to weight loss. Now, you could be getting 10,000 steps in, but if you eat like a pig, you'll just be eating all those calories that you burn. So make sure that if you are going to implement this into your routine, that you keep your diet in check as well. Because I would hate for you to get all these steps in and ending up not losing any weight because you just did not monitor your diet. It's everything that you do. It's your diet, it's your nutrition, it's your exercise, and then also it is your cardio, aka your steps. So consistency is the key here. Find a way to make walking a regular part of your day, even with a busy schedule. If you enjoy what you're doing, and if you can actually fit it within your schedule, it makes it so much easier to stick to that and therefore also see results. So I'm going to let you guys go. If you have any questions for me regarding any of this, please let me know, and I'll see y'all soon. Peace.